Oh, the game needs to update. That shouldn't take too long. Good morning, Ulu. It's others, right? Others. Okay. We came back, said hi to Tataru, and then proceeded to go back to the first and deal with a bunch of other bullshit. Alright. What's up, Tataru? Gods, it's good to see you. I hope you being here means you've had your fill of rest? Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told. You're too selfless, that's your problem. But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway. Not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl, and I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though, and they say that the fighting has finally stopped in the Gimlet Dark, and that the Empire's shown no signs of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you can tell me more about your time in the First? Great! Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamine to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. Hi, Flamine. A small child in another dimension absorbed your daughter. We'll meet you on the terrace in the House of Splendors. I was thinking recently of how, like, Flamine kind of became a nothing character. Like, she entered the story to give Minfilia some extra, like, depth and dimension and stuff, and then they immediately functionally killed off Minfilia, like, almost immediately after she gets Flamine back. Upstairs in the House of Splendors. It's been too long. Taru did mention I'd be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot express how long to know more of the First. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next Oracle, this girl Thancred named Reen. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they're quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. I might ask a favor of you when you next return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot? To tell her thank you? And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Oh, hey, Riol! I only know you because I was recently watching a recap video, and it was pointed out that he's both the guy from the Sandwich quest line, and he joined the Crystal Braves. When I was playing the game, I did not make the connection that he was the same person. I was like, I know I've known you from somewhere, because we talk like we know each other, but I don't know who you are. Hope you're here to tell me you received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, not a peep out of him. And it's been a good long while now, too bloody long. On account of which, I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can get a signal to him from closer up. What if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I should have no trouble picking my way through the Gimlet now that the fighting's died down. Gods knows there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around here twiddling my thumbs any road. I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... I nearly forgot. Kryl's at the stones and she wanted a word. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. You needn't worry about me. Go see what Kryl had to say. Seems she's still examining them. I hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examinations suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Eorzea. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured, Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
Kill him. Go kill him.
Always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along.
Oh yeah, she knows him.
His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Okay. Oh, I could have just teleported. That's fine. Oh, what's that? Toy Alexander? Oh, that's cute. Can you get that from the raids? Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocula. Yep. Ah, you're returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. The corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you've returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you'll be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Mr. Kryl and Master Montoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. Alright, had a feeling. Oh, Thancred and Eorzea aren't here because they're currently off with, they're currently off with Reen. Oh, never mind. Eorzea is here.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Oh, what was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
You die when I say you die.
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary's success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Okay, so I've gotta be okay with
Well, it
slavery.
would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured.
I'm just imagining a reality in which they're like, oh, you only have to believe that, like, he only needs to believe that we're his possessions, and he's like, got it, grabs all of them, teleports back to the first, they all wake up, and they're like, I'm a little concerned about how easy that was for you. Is there something you don't want to tell us about how you view our relationship, Warrior of Light?
White Eorzea would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after.
Wait, in
Though
the
they
source?
have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd
Is
be
it
willing to
Babis?
lend us one?
I know that Ezel isn't in the game, but Ezel 2 is.
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
So, like, yeah, is it Babis? I'm gonna call it that it's Babis. Just because I know that there is a Porksy named Ezel II, and we supposedly don't see Ezel the First, it could be Ezel. I don't know. I'd be excited if it's either of them. Admittedly, I like Ezel more, but yeah. 'Tis said the kingdom of Verbert was once home to the realm's greatest knight of and magics both. To command a place at the royal court, the Numu whom we seek must needs have been a mage among mages. Mage of surpassing skill to living a life of seclusion. Now where have I heard that before? Only one can hope they are more receptive to unsolicited visitations. Oh, this is the first shards of the first shard of Master Matoya. The Nemu seemed such a welcoming folk in Ilmeg. What do you suppose could have driven this one to a life of seclusion? I I'm sick and tired of the Exarch's attempts at selfless sacrifice. If he suggests dying one more time, I swear I'm gonna grant his wish. Grand Adventure. The Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best I devote mine energies to the creation of white Eorzea, by thy leave, of course. The process requireth no small amount of time, and should the new Mu consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. I'm sad I don't have... I opened 2 Babises from the like, 3 Final Fantasy packs I got. I wanted to open an Ezel. Granted, the cards are all really cheap. I could just buy them, but yeah. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. Pray join the others in the Sullen. I'll turn my thoughts to the Aura site, and to praise Thancred and read of our progress. Lapknot brick weed? No, I think I just leave. No, Fort Job? No, I think I just leave the Crystarium. That's the faster way. Tessellation. Weed. Brick. The Exarch said to prepare for a warm reception at the palace. Let's hope that it's more cordial than his last visit. I was relieved to hear the Exarch intended to arrange for our boat to carry us across the lake. Not that I would be opposed to swimming, mind you. He said the palace is on the opposite shore, but I see nothing on the horizon save empty sky. Curious. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march to the main gate, weapons drawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here for, to petition for assistance? You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As with any true seeker of knowledge, there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Yeah, he gets to go on a dungeon run with his boyfriend. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all, rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised. Your moods, invariably improve when Missing's around. What exactly are you implying? You averted the calamity and the... Shit. for the calamity and the light, something, something, it's fine. It's not like him or anything, Babaka. Yes, well, you have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we're finished here. Of course. Let's proceed to the palace. Yeah, sorry, Y'shtola, you're staying behind. I'm bringing my boyfriend. Very noodly hands. Oh, I need to... Presence chamber. Hello. Phoenix, summon Grandpa! I don't think they're close enough for me to be hitting them with the... Oh, look how they make a mess of my floor. Swish and flick, my lovelies. Oh, hi. Grah, can you please? So, like, I like how he's still listed as Crystal Exarch when, like, it's Grahatia. We know who he is now. Okay. It's to making a mess of my palace, and you leave me no choice. Oh dear. They don't yet seem inclined to talk. It was your idea to brandish the blades at the door. I'm gonna wait a second until... I'm gonna wait 30 seconds so I have Phoenix prepared when we get into combat. Okay, let's go. Filth that wants for cleaning. Oh no. We're good. Ah, shit. Stop. Oh god, I'm not doing hot. Can you please? Thank you, Alpha now. Okay, if it's on me, it's my job to get to the Crystal Exarch, because he ain't moving. Ah, shit. Oh! Even Alphino has to remember to resummon his carbuncle. Speaking of... I actually have to imagine that it is Ezel, not Babas. I guess I'll be sad if it's neither of them. Okay, so they go towards the... Oh, ow, shit, stop. Okay.
Leave the healing to me.
Much better.
Let's give them a go!
Oh shit. Alpha no! Ah! Ah, damn it! Alphino and Alizé backed me into a corner! Let's try this again. Alright. Corner over here, I should be good. Raha! Spread out. Okay, we're good. Slide cast.
I'm with you. Leave the healing to me.
Comet. Alizé, you should move on top of Graha. Hey. Ah! Suffered a lot of you. I'll spare you, but only this once. Now leave me be. I doubt they'll be quite so affable when we next meet. Another chance to pique their curiosity, then. Wings of Dreams. Oh my god! Yes! No! Why are you making me fight them? Wait! No! Stop! Also, maybe this is Ezel then. I know that Ezel 2 is a Porksy. I don't know if it'd be Babis or Ezel. Like, Babis was, like, dutifully sworn to a court, and Ezel was just an anarchist. Doing a bunch of anti-government shit. Literally breaking laws. Oh, there's more than just one thing here. Porksies. Under these creatures, if they think a few plants could slow us down, they're sorely mistaken. Oh, we have to... Oh. What do we do? Oh, so I have to... Eh? Do I not... Can I... Okay. So it spawns ads. I was supposed to click on it. Got it. You got that one. You got that one. That one's... Oh, no. Oh. Alright, well, that works. No! Alisaie! Alisaie! Why are you standing on me? Alisaie does not care where she puts those spreads. Oh wait, I need... Alisaie! Okay, I'm just gonna stand here instead of trying to get away. Ow! Do not run to me, Alisaie! Run somewhere else! I think I'm overestimating you, honestly. There we go, much better. Why are you like this? Alisaie, I don't know. Why are you like this? Oh, Alphino, if we dried these leaves, perhaps we could use them for tea. And Alisaie saying, why are you like this? My nose is all stuffy. Oh, hello. Why do you persist? Why not leave me be? Compliments to the chef. Ghosts? Oh, come now, Alphino. Don't be silly. Ghosts. Hi. I hate you, says that one. A thing that soldiers often say to the people they are fighting. Just, I hate you. Just waiting for your misguided path. A pity. Alphino behind you! At least I hope they're not. Ha, very funny. I know they're not ghosts. At least I hope they're not. Sully, the hall's long enough. Come, Lugus, our guests want for company. Okay. Good to know. I just don't go in, when he's gathering ether, do not stand where he's facing. Oh, interesting. Oh. You're supposed to set stuff on fire? Okay, I had to set the sofa on fire. Fuck.
I'm with you.
Okay. Well, what? But what? But where? That? Where's the? Where the fuck? Is there just not enough for the whole party in that sequence, or was I stupid? Yeah, I'm not even giving it a chance anymore. I'm just gonna make sure I'm standing next to the flammable thing before that hits me. Oh, fuck.
You won't break me.
I see what happened now. Alice, please let Alphino lit. Fuck. It's... Oh, no, he's got the drapes. Okay, we're good.
You underestimate me.
Oh, fuck. Wrong side. Alphino, please. Alphino, please. Alphino. Oh, thank God.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
There we go. Oh, I can carry no more log and tombstones of poetics. I should go do that. Best to leave the negotiations to Alphino and the Exarch. I'm glad for that to be over and done with. Little choice but to hear our plea. What do you say, Y'shtola? Nothing? Okay. And you?
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Backload. Tis good to see you again after all these years.
Okay, it's not neither of them. This is not a
And
Final
judging
Fantasy
by
Tactics
your vigorous
reference.
greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Sake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety. Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
Maybe I will if I have a plot headache. This is the one that has a dog order in it, so...
Of all the visitors I could possibly have, they're even more stubborn than I am.
Oh. No.
Oh. Very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
There's nobody else here! We are in a secluded castle that they've established incredibly, incredible lengths to make sure nobody else can come. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Beklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to use such words when treating with them. I've ever sought to convince, not compel, yet I cannot deny that a part of me was glad Urianger shared his knowledge of Numu with us. Had he not, Beklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. You mustn't dally here for any longer. If Beklog is to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Get business with the Exarch, yep.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
Yeah, because I absorbed my boyfriend earlier. Now I have a new boyfriend.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
Give him a pat and hug.
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Fortunately for us, Becklug is of a mind to see you and your fellow scions justly compensated for your efforts. Sometimes I forget we're not truly here on the first. It would be good to be whole again. Becklug is a fine eye, though we've yet to begin. I rather think the Exarch was right to call upon them. Did you happen to notice the magic brooms strewn about the Grand Cosmos? Uncanny. Yeah, Becklug is Master Matoya. You spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? You might return to your world. Are they talking about us collectively, or are they also implying Graha needs to go back to the source too? White Auracite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unbalanced state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the Auracite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then, would it be possible for us to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. That sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which would be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks like those poor souls at the end journey's head, corrupted by sin-eaters, their ether made stagnant by light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you may be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. I'd be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests at the inn, I will assist Eorzea in creating the requisite Auracite. I believe my talents would be better applied to our endeavor as well. Might I leave you three to assist Beklug as necessary? Let's make for Amareng then. Pains me that there are those who yet suffer despite our victory over the light. We must hope we can find a way can be found to help both them and our friends. Eorzea is more than capable of creating the Auracite on his own, but if aught should go awry, I'd be one to handle it, to assist him. Norvrent. Weird. Having broken the light's stranglehold in the first, I would like to believe that it will one day recover, and yet I fear that day may not come soon. Hi, Halric! Mumble. Beklug told me they wish to meet the worst afflicted. Halric, there are times I swear there's something he wants to tell me, if only he could form words. This is Halric, is it? His ether balance leans perilously toward the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boys? Same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He'll become a sin-eater. You don't know that. We defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate ether in the body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbert. Then for darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes, I'll break that oath. It's not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Todden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic had no effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? I feel warm. My legs, they don't feel as heavy. Leave this one to me. Please let this work. Mumble. Now then, have you noticed any change in the patients? Notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time, but this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in later stages of corruption, like Halbrick, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wake to find himself an old man. Fine reward for his patience, the opportunity to mourn their life, the life he never had a chance to live. There must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petition your aid, but do you think it possible we could find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Did you say what I think he said? Might there really be a way to help Ulrich and the others, and ourselves in the process? Corporeal and incorporeal ether. I confess I'd never had the cause to make the distinction. Hang on. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Verbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I'd hoped to do great things for the kingdom, but in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. Now you have the chance to redeem yourself. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. Let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Where the sky is still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility, but now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail conjuring a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them a perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we may ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well, your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. Purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar can help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought that you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've all, been there at all, let alone befriended the Fae folk. While you're about it, seek out the new Moo of Paula Eni. They'll be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? The story remains a matter of the clay. Might it prevail upon you to find it? Clay from Onwering would likely be best. Know of anyone who might be able to assist us? I could ask the miners at Twine. Yes, I'll be able to point you in the right direction, I'm sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there's aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. Oh, what a coincidence. You come at a good time. We just finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took us to Nabatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from the Daedalus Stoneworks, and as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai does. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley! But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, jerk, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. Something tells me missing here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What do you need, friend? I see, and this familiar requires clay from Amarang. We look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't extremely common, isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Brain Mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look for there. Oh, hi. I can just teleport. I should teleport, because I'm not going anywhere else. Twins have returned in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? Wonderful. We need but combine the clay and the water and then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it'll be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beklug, I have a question. In the event we have need of the spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skills, yes. Holrick and the others have suffered so much, and I swear to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Norvrent more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so? She's the best woman for the job. No worries, Zulu. I'm gonna be hopping off in a little bit anyway. I'll give it my all for Holrick, for Tesleen. Them we're all of a mind on the matter. Alice should be the one to conjure the familiar.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay?
Are they making a porksy?
Very good. Now, I will
Yes!
have you sculpt for me a porksy.
Yes!
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
We fought a whole bunch of them in the garden, Alice. You should remember them. And you should be ashamed that we had to kill them.
There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Oh, you're gonna die, Alphino.
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
Grotesque parody of reality.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Yay!
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Angelo.
Mother,
By the 12, I thought it was only for a moment. Though it was only for a moment he spoke, there may yet be hope for these people. The girl's resolve is quite impressive. One might almost think she drew strength from another. Hang on. Excuse me, Angelo? I can't pet Angelo. Okay, I'm gonna pet you. Oh shit, it's already okay. The final cutscene. How was the Beklug? Did it work? Believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. My eyes do not deceive. A hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, the magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Eorzea. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beklug said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It's a fate. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know at least one in the source who can desperately use such treatment. Gaboo! Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul is not was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of the light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gaboo fellow of whom you speak? I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown to even me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with the treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beck-Lug and see if you can't make some headway with the newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I can see you're not convinced. You're not to be convinced. The fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, I've found you. Oh, Kaishir. Kaishir, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulemoor. Lady Chai is beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? Must be urgent. I take it I'll be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beck-Lug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulemoor is at stake. Okay. Future of Yulemoor's at stake, is it? Well, do for them what you can, but keep an eye on Alphino, will you? He sure doesn't... See to it he doesn't involve himself in any more than is necessary. Whatever could be so urgent for Lady Chai to summon us thus? We'll find out next time, because I have to go to work. Let's see who's live that I can raid. Oh, Magic's revealing stuff. Oh, Chip to Durgvi is playing 14 also, so let's go ahead and head on over there.
You unlocked Darkhold, didn't you?
So we'll head on over there. If you're on YouTube, the link is twitch.tv/ChipToDurgvi. Thank you for hanging out. Raid message if you found the missing persons. I should be live tomorrow. Theoretically. We shall see. Until next time, though, I'll be seeing y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with me.